I figured out a solution for my Slinger bag and the battery problems. Check this out. First thing you need to do is remove the battery pack. It fits right in that spot right there, and it just takes the 4 screws that you see on the top and bottom here. And then on the back, you're going to see that there are a couple places where it is attached to the Slinger bag itself. So you're just going to go ahead and disconnect both of those. This is the crappy battery pack that comes with the Slingers. They are notorious for not lasting that long, and their website has replacements for like $200, and they are always out of stock. So what I was looking for is a way to use my basic DeWalt batteries. You can use the whatever size that you have. This is one of the 20 volt max, and then they've got the smaller ones like this, and then they've got the larger 5 amp ones like this. But it doesn't really matter; they'll all work with this. And my goal was, how do I create it so that I can replace this whole thing with something that will allow me to use those? So this is a 14.4 volt battery pack. And if you go on Amazon, you can find that DeWalt used to make a 14.4 volt system. And you can actually buy an adapter that works with the 20 volt batteries to power your 14.4 volt older DeWalt tools. So basically what this is when you order it, it's this piece that's right here. And then these are the leads. There's 2 terminals that actually attach to the inside of the drill, because this style pushes up inside the drill handle. What I've done is, on the back of this battery pack, once you've removed a couple screws, you'll remove a couple screws here on the top, and this right here is actually the cells for the battery pack right here. What you need to do is you're going to go ahead and just cut these 2 pieces, these 2 wires right here that lead to the plug that goes on the back right here, and you're going to save that wire piece, that harness right there. And then you're pretty much done with this. You're not going to use this anymore. It goes away. What I did was I found a few of these connectors, and these wire connectors right here. I have them linked below. You can get them on Amazon really, really cheap, but they just get crimped onto the ends of the wire. So what I did was, this is that piece that came inside the battery. I removed the outer threaded nut on here, so we have that all as one piece. And then what I did was I crimped 2 of these pieces right onto the ends of this wire right here. Now what you're going to need to do is take a thin flathead screwdriver, sort of like this size right here, and you're going to need to get it inside. You're going to need to push it, let's see if I can see it here, right inside there, and widen these up a little bit, because these are going to be a little too thin when they come out of the box. You need to give it a little more space, because the terminals on the top and bottom here are actually quite a bit thicker that are right down in there, and you can kind of see how those go. But they should snugly fit right over top of those. Now, the positive wire is this front wire right here. It's the one that faces the top of the battery pack, or the front of the battery pack, and the one back here is the negative. So you'll see I crimped one of those clips to the black wire, which is the negative, clipped one to the red wire, which is the positive, and now I have this connected here. Now, one of the things I did was I also created this mounting plate, and I have a laser cutter that allowed me to cut this template. Now, you don't have to do this. Another way that you can do this is you can just get a longer wire, and this is what I did to test the machine. And you basically can use those exact same clips if you want, or however you want to do it. But I just took a longer wire, and behind the ball machine, when you open it up and you see all the tennis balls or pickleballs in it, there is a Velcro. It's hard to see because it's all black. In the back of the bag, there's a Velcro piece that runs all the way across the back so that you can access down behind. And what I did was I ran one end of this wire down and connected it to this piece so that it was connected to the ball machine. And then I had it come up through the top, and I connected the battery like, 2.5, 3 feet away from there. And then I just kind of like let the wire come out the top, and then I dropped it into that back pouch on the back. So it wasn't real pretty, but it was my way of kind of seeing if it worked. And if you don't really care about aesthetics or having it mounted on the front, then you could totally do that. But I did go ahead and make a downloadable template for this. So if you happen to have a 3D printer, or you have or you have access to a laser cutter, you can just go ahead and download that template, and then it should work as long as you buy the same one. There's a link to this same battery adapter on below in the tutorial that is on my website. So feel free to just go ahead and click those, and it'll give you the exact same one you need, the same one that I'm using as well. Something else, if you don't happen to already have DeWalt batteries, there are a ton of third-party generic ones that get great reviews that don't cost nearly as much. So I happen to have all these because I have all of these battery DeWalt tools that I use. But if you don't happen to have them, you can get them really, really inexpensively, and they're great. The thing that stinks about the way that the Slinger bag works is this is all built in. It takes 5 hours to charge, and even in the instructions, it tells you that you have to monitor the thing, and it can potentially overheat the battery if you leave it for more than 5 hours. So that's really inconvenient. And if you happen to be on the court and you're out, practicing or whatever, and your battery dies, you have a brick. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to take it back home and charge it for 5 hours. But with this, just throw an extra one of these in your bag, and then you can just swap the battery out right there at the court, and you're good to go. So I'll show you how I mount this back into the bag and show you how it works. All right, so once you've got this all wired up, it should look something like this. And all you have to do is you're going to feed this through the hole in the front of the battery compartment, and then reach inside here, and you're just gonna connect that to that piece right there. I can't do it because I'm holding a camera with one hand, but that's as simple as it gets. You'll never use the old charger that came with it again. You're going to use your DeWalt battery chargers to charge the batteries. So you'll never want to plug your bag in, because this actually isn't going to be connected to the battery anymore. So the other thing I have found is, because this is not the same battery that comes with this, you're going to notice that when you turn it on, it's going to only show one green light, and it might even switch to red when it turns on. But I can assure you that I have run this thing through 3 2-hour sessions now on this battery right here, and I still had a third of a battery left. So you get plenty of juice out of one of these. And the thing that's nice about some of these other batteries, like these larger ones from DeWalt, some of the bigger ones, is that they also come with a battery button on the back. So you can actually see how much juice is left. If you keep it in your bag, you can kind of say like, oh, I still have 2 bars left. I'm good for another couple sessions. So that's the nice thing about these. But again, you can get the cheap ones, throw a bunch of them in here, and then you never have to worry about running out of juice when you're at the court. In order to help this plate to be well attached to the adapter, if you see on the adapter itself, there are 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 down here. If you pull, actually there's 6, there's two additional ones down here. If you pull that open, you'll notice that just below, just inside, right about where those screws are sticking out, you can drill holes that align up with the template. And you can actually put 2 screws without hitting any of the circuitry inside. You can put 2 screws in right here and fasten them down. So it just helps connect these two pieces a lot better so that it's just more rigid. I would think that you could probably use some sort of an epoxy glue or something like that if you wanted to as well to attach it, or find another way to do it, but that's a pretty easy way to do it. So I'm just gonna set this down here like that. Fits right in, and then you'll just tighten those 4 screws in, and you're all set and you're all good to go. This is mounted in here nice and tight, and you'll see that we've got that wire here connected to the adapter to your bag, and then it's just a matter of grabbing a DeWalt battery or compatible battery, drop it on there, turn it on, and you're all set. It works great. I've used it about 5 or 6 times for training, and it's been perfect and had no problems whatsoever. And it's super convenient because, like I said, I can just throw another one of these batteries that's charged in the bag, and if I run out while I'm at the court, I can just drop another one in, and I'm good to go. Enjoy.